Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 96 of our stay-in-place order. Things are getting a little crazy these days. Sorry, I'm bringing you up on my phone so I can see who's actually watching, because when I do it on my PC, it doesn't work so well. Here we go. More racial drama. Things are getting a little crazy these days. Sorry, I'm bringing you up on my phone so I can see who's actually watching, because when I do it on my PC. Sorry about that. So, what's going on, guys? Luckily, there's not a lot of people watching. There's a lot of drama with this racial tension stuff going on, and more of this Black Lives Matter scenario is coming out into the open. I don't like to think that I'm real political. Good morning, Mom. How you doing? Hi, Mom. Yosef, how's it going, buddy? My I saw a few different videos yesterday. I was kind of cruising and checking out a few different things, and this whole Bubba Wallace scenario that we have going on is getting this Black Lives Matter is becoming more and more irrelevant. That it is a democratic thing that is just there to raise money for the Democratic Party. I'm very biased. I don't just jump on any bandwagon. I like to do my research, and the whole thought of systemic racism in this country is what they're basing this whole thing on is completely ludicrous. Hey, Melissa, because there's no laws, there's nothing that is holding anybody back from getting anything in this country. There's no laws that they're saying that you have to hire a white person over a black person. There's no law saying that you can't hire a black person. There's laws that say if you hire a black person or a white person over a black person, and the black person was more qualified, well, yeah, that is illegal. So the only racism we have in this country now is just logistic racism, and that means you're referring to somebody by who they are and who they associate themselves with, which isn't really racism. Okay. This whole thing with the noose and with Bubba Wallace, I don't know why it's bothering me so bad, but I think it's bothering me because of the pageantry that NASCAR decided they were going to throw up. Good morning, Melissa. And nobody ever even seen it. Nobody knows. Somebody said that there was a noose in Bubba Wallace's pit stall. Turns out it was just to pull the door down, just a little loop in the hole, so that you can put your hand in there and pull the door down. That's it. 15 FBI agents had to come in and verify this. 15 taxpayer dollars. Taxpayer dollars. And to think that somebody would have went into his stall in secure, closed garages where nobody was allowed to go. Only NASCAR officials, very few people were allowed into those garages during that lockdown. And hang a noose. That's what I thought. I thought, oh my God, somebody went into his garage and hung a noose as either a racist symbol that, get the hell out of NASCAR, which, don't get me wrong, NASCAR was in the past very racist. Just ask Willie Chiggs. If you ever seen the movie Uppity, you'd understand. Grease Lightning, same thing. That's what I had in my head, that they had a freaking noose hanging in the garage. I mean, that's just like, this day and age, that's wrong. Okay, wrong. Now I'm like, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm not, I want to see pictures, okay? I watched the TV show that was on the other night. It was last week. I recorded it so I can get through the commercials. Why we hate. Actually, there was no commercials, and I didn't know that, but I recorded it anyways. Why we hate. And the ability for human beings to create genocide is unbelievable. Okay? The studies that were done to show that human beings can hurt another human being with very little provocation. These studies that were done back in the 50s and the 60s by one, I can't remember his name now, and he did several different versions of the test. And he tested people, and if you haven't seen this, you need to go on your DVR and look it up. It's really worth watching. It's really eye-opening as far as what systemic racism really is. I'm tired of these celebrity sellouts. Bubba Wallace included. Don't get me wrong. I was a Bubba Wallace fan. I still am. I still root for him. He deserves a win. But these sellouts that have raised billions of dollars for the Democratic Party by using racism. Black Lives Matter. I don't care. It's racism. All lives matter. No matter what color you are, no matter what, gay, straight, handicap, whatever, brown, pink, yellow, doesn't matter. All lives matter. And until we can get rid of Black Lives Matter and get that out of our vocabulary, we're never going to get rid of racism. Ever. Not going to happen. So that's my rant for today. And here we are, day 96 of our little hostile takeover. Coronavirus cases are on the rise. I saw a post on Twitter this morning from CNN saying that studies have shown that the riots, the protests, have not raised the bar. I beg to differ with you. I don't know if it was that, but you got to remember that the track and trace people were told not to ask if you were involved in a protest or a riot. So how can they trace that? If they are not asking the person who's been tested positive and they're doing track and trace, if you were at a protest, you're not going to know. So it's easy to say, oh, well, no, there's none associated with protests because they're not freaking asking. What the hell is wrong with this freaking country now? 7,300 cases in one day in California tested positive. Yes, we're doing a lot more testing, but that just goes to show you there's a whole lot more people out there with this crap than what was originally thought. Yes, the mortality rate is beyond low, okay? But still, if you get sick with it, it sucks. I've heard people say they wish they were dead because it's that bad. Yes, it's a good survival, very survivable, but I don't want to get sick like that for that long. That's nuts. Who would want to be sick like that? Not me. So they're going to shut stuff back down. We opened up way too early. New York, I don't know if you've seen the curves for New York, but New York had the worst climb of all of us, and it still is number one. Now we're number two. But now their cases are down to like 70 new cases a day. They're still not open. They're still in phase 2. And very limited phase 2. New York City, New York, the whole state, New York, they kept it locked down and their cases are almost gone. New Zealand, locked down till it was over. I know that's something that most people don't want to hear. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Jim. That we should be locked down for a year. But guess what? The summer thing. Obviously, the warm weather is not killing the virus. Now we're even more. In Brazil, still off the charts. New Zealand, 0 cases. There you go. Day 96, people. Day 96. So you know what? I guarantee you I'm going to be right here on day 196. And we're going to be talking about the Christmas and Thanksgiving explosion of corona cases. I know, very survivable. I know. I've heard the story. Face masks, oh, they don't do nothing. Yes, they do. Face masks will help tremendously to help this situation. And let's just pray that they don't go to like China. You have to wear 2 medical grade face masks at all time in public. At all times. When you're outside your dwelling, whether you're walking, running, whatever you're doing, you have to have those on. And in China, they probably just shoot you. You know, China is a communist country. So you do what you're told or you have serious consequences. Us Americans are don't like to be told what to do. We do not accept people telling us what to do. For some reason, we think that I was in the military, so I can do whatever I want. No. Thank you for your service, but no. I've seen that one. I've seen that one numerous times. Just because we're Americans doesn't mean we can't. We got to be one for all and all. For ourselves, we need to be one for all and all for one, and we need to think about our fellow brothers and sisters, regardless of color, creed, sexual orientation. I mean, I even think that's kind of stupid when you go to fill out a job application, and there's 5 different categories for what your gender. 5 different categories. I've been helping my son do job applications because I haven't done job applications in years. 5, no, male or female, I'm sorry. You want to call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, that's fine, I don't care. But there's only 2 species in this world, male and female. And, pick one. You shouldn't even have to pick either one. You know what? You shouldn't even have to pick either one. You shouldn't even have to tell them if you're a male or female. You shouldn't even have to tell them if you're black, white, Indian, Caucasian, whatever. That shouldn't even not be on the application. Because that is a systemic form of racism. Because they could be looking for a black person to work in this business and just pick that black person over everybody else just because of that. So, affirmative action. I grew up in the age of affirmative action. And affirmative action was really wrong because it left people who are highly qualified to do jobs out in the cold. And it took people who were underqualified just because of race. And that, I'm sorry, everybody has the right to, and that's the business side of it. That's the democratic and political crap that goes on in this country. I'm trying to stay out of the political stuff as much as I possibly can on these shows, but the stupidity is just outrageous. Freaking outrageous how stupid that we can be, and Washington is just a major cluster right now, and has been through this whole thing, and it really shows the black, the red, and the blue, and there's nothing in between. We have no candidates in between this over here. These Democratic people that are saying Black Lives Matter and all that, and using black people to raise funds, $1 billion that Black Lives Matter has raised for the Democratic Party. And then you have over here the Republicans that are just like, oh, it's not that bad. We're going to stop testing because the more testing we do, the more cases we get. So we can't do that. Enough, people. This is just crazy. Good morning, Wendy. How you doing? Welcome to my rant. I hope people are agreeing with me. I don't really care if you do agree with me, but these are my thoughts and my emotions and expressions. And I think that I have plenty of black friends. I have plenty of Hispanic friends or Asian friends. I think when we use certain terminology, that's racism. When you refer to Asian people in certain ways and black people in certain ways, and you know what I'm talking about, That is racism. That is a form of racism. Um, I think that that's where we need to draw the line. That's where we need to clean our act up and refer to people as people and not, just, no, none of that. And I'm just saying, I think that that's what needs to be done. I think that's where we need to start. I think we need to eliminate the Black Lives Matter scenario from our vocabulary and just stick with all lives matter. And when you try to do the all lives matter thing, people freak out. But the problem is, you have the Black Lives Matter people think that that's all it's for them, and it's racism. Racism, it's racism. It's segregating one race from everybody else, and that's what we're fighting to not segregate one race from everybody else. Asian lives matter, Irish lives matter, British lives matter. We all lives matter. It's okay to have pride in you. I'm from Ireland. It's okay to have pride. I'm German by descent and Italian. But so there's another thing. Okay, so you go out filling out a job application, and it says mixed race. I mean, there's also the boxes say don't want to answer. But, you answer. I answer just because they might not like that. So, but, okay, so apparently I'm German and Italian. So I guess I'm mixed race. Would you agree? I agree. I mean, good morning, Mary. How you doing? Hey, you caught the show. Good job. Just saying. So there's my rant for the day. Let's stop all the systemic profiling, and let's just love each other. Have faith in your fellow human beings. Let's try to find some leadership in Washington that could actually, be the medium stream and not be so far left or so far right that it's just ruining the country. I think the political party scenario right now needs to be abolished. We need to get rid of political parties. Who's the best guy for the job? What do you stand for? What does this candidate stand for versus this candidate? And that's where we need to go with our future in Washington and in our Senates, and eliminate this party situation. There's no reason why, if you feel like you shouldn't vote along your party lines, that you have to go with your party lines just because we're putting you in office so that you can vote for us, not your party. Anyways, okay, enough political crap for one day. I am out of here. I need a drink after that one. Anyways, okay, guys. Here you go. Elbow up. Live long and prosper. Stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. Wear your mask because now it's mandatory. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning on day 98 and 7. Something. Tomorrow morning. Bye. Friday. See ya.